Unlock institutional knowledge for Agile learning environments. Between curriculum guidelines, compliance training, onboarding modules, and specialized institutional knowledge, education and corporate L&D teams manage an overwhelming amount of information. Yet, too often, this critical knowledge remains trapped in the minds of individual experts, hidden in buried slide decks, or scattered across disjointed learning management systems, LMS. According to research by McKinsey, knowledge workers spend an average of 1.8 to 2.5 hours every single day just searching for internal information or tracking down colleagues for answers. When an educator leaves or a trainer changes roles, their hard-earned insights frequently vanish with them. In fact, workplace data shows that 42% of institutional knowledge is unique to a single employee. Traditional content hosting is no longer enough. To build agile, scalable learning environments, we must shift our focus from mere content management to strategic knowledge architecture, SKA. What is strategic knowledge architecture in L&D? Strategic knowledge architecture is the intentional design of an organization's information flows, learning assets, and taxonomies to maximize learning outcomes and institutional agility. In traditional L&D, we focus on hosting modules, the where. With SKA, we focus on mapping connections, the how and why. It transforms static libraries of content into dynamic, discoverable, and reusable building blocks of knowledge. In case of traditional L&D, imagine three isolated linear silos. Content is built inside linear paths. Information mentioned in Course A cannot be easily pulled, updated, or repurposed for Course C because it sits trapped behind an entry screen or within a shareable content object reference model, or SCORM package. On the other hand is the connected semantic hub, SKA approach. Content is deconstructed into independent learning objects. Instead of a student digging through an entire course to find a single concept, the centralized semantic tags bridge the gap, instantly serving up the precise wiki article, video snippet, or expert directory needed in that exact moment. From chaos to structure. A tale of two onboardings. Consider how a lack of architecture actively damages organizational velocity, particularly during onboarding where structured paths can increase new hire retention by 82%. Without SKA, the status quo an experienced instructor leaves. Their lecture slides, case prompts, and grading keys remain locked in their personal cloud folders. Their replacement has to build the course entirely from scratch, while a trainer looking for a customer handling rubric has to download an outdated 80-page PDF handbook and skim for 15 minutes to find a simple 2-page criteria. With SKA, the architected state. Course design follows an institutional ontology. Every assignment prompt, rubric, and prerequisite reading links back to a centralized curriculum map. The customer handling rubric is tagged as an independent, version-controlled knowledge object. A quick search in Slack or Teams immediately surfaces the exact 2-page rubric needed. The 4 pillars of knowledge architecture for learning. Building an effective SKA requires focusing on 4 interconnected pillars. 1. Semantic tagging and microlearning. Breaking bulky courses into bite-sized, highly tagged learning objects. This allows learners to instantly pull the exact piece of micro-knowledge they need in the flow of work. 2. Knowledge lifecycle governance, setting clear schedules for subject matter experts, SMEs, to review, update, or retire learning materials, ensuring curriculum accuracy. 3. Cross-platform integration, connecting your LMS, internal knowledge bases, and communication tools, like Slack or Teams, so learning isn't confined to a single, isolated platform. 4. Social and collaborative capture, creating friction-free paths for experienced educators and top-performing employees to easily document and share their tacit know-how before they leave the organization. Case study, SKA in action. When organizations treat learning content as a strategic architecture rather than static files, the results are measurable. Take the case of Guide Dogs, a large non-profit training organization. They struggled with lengthy, static technical certification courses that required massive time commitments from instructors and learners alike. By shifting from linear course files to a modular digital architecture categorized by granular skill competencies, they cut training seat time by 30%. Learner engagement and knowledge retention spiked because staff could access bite-sized, verified reference modules directly while performing field tasks. The ultimate benefit: personalization and AI readiness. For L&D, the real magic of a structured knowledge architecture lies in its future-proofing capabilities. For organizations with over 1,000 employees, knowledge fragmentation costs an estimated $2.7 million annually in lost productivity and duplicate work. But the cost is even steeper if you plan to adopt AI. As adaptive learning and generative AI tools enter the classroom and the workplace, they rely entirely on the quality of your underlying data structure. An AI tutor or training assistant cannot effectively guide a learner if your internal documentation is messy, contradictory, or unlabeled. SKA creates the clean, structured data foundation required to power hyper-personalized, automated learning pathways. The bottom line: we can no longer afford to treat learning content as static, disposable assets. By designing a strategic knowledge architecture, we don't just train people for today, we build a resilient, self-sustaining learning ecosystem for tomorrow. Transforming knowledge into impact. How Positive Linguist Publishers can help. Designing a modern knowledge architecture requires more than just technical tools, it demands a deep understanding of language, pedagogical design, and structured content strategy. That is where Positive Linguist Publishers comes in. Whether you are an educational institution modernizing legacy curricula or an enterprise L&D team dismantling training silos, Positive Linguist Publishers bridges the gap between raw subject matter expertise and scalable, learner-centered architecture. Curriculum modularization and semantic structuring. We deconstruct dense, monolithic training guides, handbooks, and course packs into modular, reusable learning objects tagged with intuitive metadata, making your content searchable, adaptable, and AI-ready. Multimodal and multilingual content architecture. Drawing on narrative design, dual coding frameworks, and cross-cultural linguistic expertise, we transform static text repositories into engaging, multimodal learning experiences, including interactive assets, digital publications, and audio narratives via platforms like Larkylore Learning Studio. Knowledge preservation and SME capture. We help organizations design systematic workflows to extract tacit know-how from departing faculty or retiring senior experts, turning ephemeral institutional memory into durable, version-controlled publishing assets. Enterprise and community publishing solutions. From custom digital training libraries to specialized print and bilingual cultural keepsakes, we provide the editorial, pedagogical, and distribution infrastructure needed to scale your organization's voice. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. Visit us at positivelinguist.com.